Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Bears Den. David here. Hopefully, you're doing well. Hopefully, you're having a great day so far. And in today's fragrance video, I am going to be talking about August flavor of the month, along with a Q&A with this flavor of the month video. And I'm going to start doing that for you all that have been paying attention to this series on my channel. And if you do not know what the flavor of the month is, basically it's just me doing a solo fragrance review of one I've had in my collection for a while, and I wanted to give you all my thoughts on it, or a first impression, glorified first impression. And I haven't done this yet in this series, but it could be something that I just don't like and I want to tell you all about that, or also too something that it's just okay. You know, I haven't done that, but I don't want to pigeonhole this series into fragrances I like. Okay. And then also too, in the community tab, I am going to try to post more questions for you all to answer. I want to hear the community's opinions about these questions and all that. But I have one on here that I posted a few weeks ago. And if you want to be included in a future video, like a Q&A, make sure to check out that community tab on the question I posted and answer that. Very interested to hear your opinion about the questions I post on there. And then if you're lucky enough, I'll put it in the video depending on how much I got or how much that question has, likes, for prime example. And if you want to see more basically fragrance lists, reviews, challenges, make sure to check out the rest of the channel after you get done watching this video. Greatly appreciate any support. And with all that out of the way, let's hop into August flavor of the month and the Q&A. The fragrance I'm going to be talking about today is from the house of Dior, and this one's been out for a few years now, and I don't have the presentation on the box or anything, so I'll just show you the bottle. And it is Dior Homme Sport 2021. Yeah, pulled this one out the other day. I got a new job, so I was in the office, and this worked wonders here, I will say. And I just need to get a whiff of that from the atomizer here. Man, this one. This is what, I'm just going to say it right now. This is what Dior Homme 2020 should have been. It should have been this right here. So, I'm going to put that bad boy there. And this is a 4.2 ounce bottle, and you can get this pretty reasonably priced from Dior's website. I think it was only like 110, 115 around there. Don't quote me on that price, but I know it was low. It was towards the low 100s. While a lot of fragrances these days are going in the 150s to 200s, and there is one fragrance out there that I have to call out because it's only a 2 ounce bottle and charging $200, and it smells like the rest of the line. If you know, you know. That's all I'm gonna say with that. But basically, going back to this one here, Dior Homme Sport 2020. It's citrus, woody, aromatic. It's got some fresh spice in there as well, not a headache and a little freshness. And this is a versatile scent. This is one that is going to work in any occasion, any place, any time of year, in my opinion. Now, don't get me wrong. I would say for me personally, it's more of an office office, daytime, casual. You can dress this up, dress this down, but if I think at nighttime or if you're going on a date, I would choose some other options if you had it. But you could wear that in this situation because this is, like I said, it's a fresh fragrance, a little citrusy, a little woody as well, and they just blend perfect. The fragrance was done very well. That's what I'm trying to say. So you got some lemon, you got some bergamot, you got some aldehydes, you got some elemi, pink pepper in the mid, and then in the base you got the woody notes, alabama, and the amber. But this is a 4 time of year fragrance. You can wear it in the spring, summer, fall, and winter time. But I feel like this thing's going to shine in the spring and summer a little bit more than the fall and winter, just because that citrus kick it has in this too. But that amber helps it out, and the woody notes would help. You'd probably get a little bit more of those in the fall and winter on a colder day if you wore this one here. And this one's going to, of course, remind people of Dior Homme 2020. And if you do not like the sweet, bubblegummy, gourmandish type of scents, this is the one for you. It's going to be right up your alley. I highly recommend getting a sample of this. And if you like your citrus, if you like your fresh, your clean, your woody, woody notes, this one's going to be right up your alley. And it's The citrus isn't fruity at all. It's a little bitter too. It's a little bitter, which can complement the woody and the smoky elements of the fragrance here. And like I mentioned, signature scent worthy type of scents here. And overall, this one on the longevity, about 7 to 8 hours off my skin, I would say. And the projection in the first hour is probably about 2 to 3 feet, and then you get about 1 foot away on the projection after that first hour. But this is one you can wear in the gym. It's got sport in the name, but it's not your traditional sport fragrance, okay? This is one that I feel like is overall should not be worn in the gym, okay? I'm not saying you can't not wear this in the gym. Feel free to wear your fragrance whenever you want, but I'd probably choose something else in the gym. And when we think of sports fragrances, we think about doing activities, sports, gym, all that type of stuff. But this one would be one I would probably wear more if I was running errands, casual type of day per se, or maybe going to the office. And like I mentioned before, you can dress this one up, dress this down, and it works perfectly. So, gentleman type of scent here. I keep repeating myself, so I'm just going to give you my rating here on this one. And it is a 9.0 out of 10. And how I come up with those ratings for the flavor of the month fragrance when I rate these fragrances: versatility, longevity, projection, wearability, and the fragrance blend / oils they use in this. If it's high quality or not, that's what I mean by that. But this one is just kind of missing the mark a little bit on the uniqueness per se, but you can't be mad about that, okay? That's also on the scale of the uniqueness, so that's why it's kind of in that 9 range right there. And it's very hard for me to grade a fragrance a 10, I will say, but this is close to it at being at that 9 position. So August flavor of the month, Dior Homme Sport 2021. It's kind of getting towards the end of summer. We're in August here, so hopefully I'll give this one a few more wears while it's still hot outside and see how it reacts per se, which I have been wearing it, but I'm going to give it more wears and see if that 9.0 can move up. Now let's hop into the question that I had on the community tab for you all. And basically the question I posed is, hey there Bear Family, what's a fragrance you hold near and dear to your heart, and why does it mean so much to you? And I chose one too, and I'm going to be going for Lacoste fragrance. If you watched my order videos, I talked about this before, but I used to always buy when I was a little kid and get the Lacoste fragrances because I like the alligator. And to my nose, this one was kind of unique. It does have some unique notes in it, so it doesn't surprise me. Because when I was younger, I was just smelling a whole bunch of fresh and clean fragrances from Lacoste per se, other than one that I might show you guys in a future video. But this is one, I have 2 bottles of this. So I got the big bottle at first, and then me and my grandma went back and picked up the sample set. So I picked up 3 of them, and this was actually in there. I got the sample one here, so the smaller bottle. And when I think about this scent, I think about going into in the Macy's. With the Macy's with my grandma in the mall. We would walk in there, always smell fragrances, and I remember picking this one up, spraying it on the tester strip. I know, should spray it on the skin, alright? Young David, tisk tisk tisk, needs to learn about his fragrance etiquette, but not the point. So smelling on the tester strip, I was like, oh my goodness, I really like this, blah blah blah. And this one is no other than Lacoste L1212 Rogue. So you got this one here, small bottle, like I mentioned before. And this one's got some warm spice, tropical, fruity, smoky, sweet. Got a little citrus in here as well. And, I don't remember the longevity and the performance on this one here. It's been a very long time. I just kind of keep in my collection to remember my grandma and my grandpa. He was with us too when we would go. But, my grandma would walk in the store. My grandpa would just kind of sit out there and do his own thing, which is fine. But top notes, you got some mango, some rooibos tea, which is red tea, basically. Very unique note. I don't think I've seen that used much. Mandarin orange, cardamom, pepper, ginger, and then you got another kind of unique note, black locust, and then woody notes and benzoin. Overall, this one is basically just got, it's pleasant. It's a sweet and fruity scent. And for some people, if you spray a lot of this on, it could be kind of cloying because that tropical feel with it. And it can be loud and synthetic to some people, I will say, but it's good for a younger guy. If you're going to the gym, just need an easy grab and go, kind of with a unique twist in fragrances here. And I'm not saying this is a mind-blowing thing, you know, it smells similar to stuff out there, but it does have a few notes here that kind of puts it apart from your regular freshie, I would say, like, you know, that you would smell usually at the gym. And overall too is, you know, it's a no-brainer type of scent in my opinion, and that's how a lot of Lacoste fragrances are. They don't really go too crazy with it, but overall it's you know, it's it's a decent fragrance. You know, it's not something mind-blowing, but the reason why I keep it around, like I mentioned before, it reminds me of my grandma. So that's the one I went with for the question. Enough of me yapping on about mine. Let's hop in here, guys' fragrance here. So the next one is by What's That Smell. Hopefully you're doing well, What's That Smell. Thank you for answering this question here. And it is By the Fireplace by Maison Margiela. It was my first niche purchase. It was very much a scent that showed what an art perfumery could be. Have the bottle here. And this one, hopping into it, this has got smoky feel to it. It's basically, yeah, woody, vanilla, balsamic, warm spice, ambery, and then you got some sweetness, and you got some nuttiness to this one as well. You got some notes of clove, pink pepper, orange blossom, chestnut, guaiac wood, juniper, and then the base got vanilla, cashmere, and then prelude blossom. This one here, and every other fragrance from Maison Margiela, they come up with these ones that try to put you in a scenario, try to put you in a place. Like this one puts you by the fireplace, and it's got the location here and stuff. And of course, you're not there, but there's ones like Jazz Cup, Coffee Break, Beach Walk, Whispers in the Library, Sailing Day. Jazz Club's probably this, and Jazz Club probably the most popular too. I prefer this one here. And in the wintertime, this is definitely going to get some wears. It reminds me if you're like drinking like some vanilla latte or some vanilla drink with a smoky fire going on, and maybe you have somebody kind of, you know, a cuddle session, I guess. That's what this reminds me of. Or if you're by yourself, you know, you got a blanket around you by that fire, and it's got a nutty aspect to it as well that gives it a little kind of twist along with that smoky, sweet feel from the vanilla here. And I will say By the Fireplace is nothing going to be really projecting like crazy. It's a very intimate type of scent, so it's going to sit close. If I remember right, this one off my skin, I got about 5 to 6 hours, about 1 foot of projection per se, and it is a compliment. Like, you can get compliments with this. I have before too, and once the winter and fall time is, this is going to be in my rotation, and I'm glad I have this in my collection. And like What's That Smell says, this is a good starting point if you want to check out kind of like an imagery type of scent that puts you in the state of a certain place. I would start out with Maison Margiela. Some of them are easy to wear. Some of them are they're iffy. But you know, if you go with Jazz Club By the Fireplace, they will not let you down, I will say. But definitely, you know, get a sample, try them out, spray them on in the store. So, By the Fireplace. And then last but not least is from, Joe Green 5564. He says Lamal, the one that started it all, and I agree with Joe Green. It's the one that started off the Lamal line, and I really love the Lamal line here. And this one's aromatic, vanilla, fresh spice, lavender, warm spice, and green. As you can tell, I do not have a bottle, so another tisk moment for me. Sorry, Joe, don't get mad at me for that one. But yeah, this one was made by Mason Francis Kershaw, and he's now the head perfumer at the House of Dior here. But he did not make this fragrance, but that's the point. And this was an amber fougere, basically. It's something that at the time was very. It's a modern masterpiece, is what I'm trying to say. Modern classic. And it's got some lavender, mint, cardamom, bergamot, cinnamon, orange blossom, vanilla, tonka bean, amber, sandalwood, and cedar. And that one, basically Lamal, inspired a whole bunch of other fragrances, inspired the line. And for me personally, I'd probably say these days I'll be going with Ultra Mall or Le Male Elixir or Lake Parfum. Lake Parfum, the only reason I didn't mention that one is because that one's probably, out of the ones I've smelled, the ones I just mentioned there, the most one that goes away from that original DNA. I feel like the other two are kind of closer to the OG Le Male here. And with this Le Male, if I, overall, this is going to be, it's a power, I don't know if it's got reformulated since I smelled it, but it's a powerhouse fragrance. It's going to be it turns heads basically, and it's bold and it's loud and it's the feel of 90s. You got a little freshness, a little sweet, spicy, and this is going to last all day, and it's a complimenting type of fragrance here. And I will say too, just make sure you don't go crazy with the sprays on the mall here, because a few will go a long way for you. And overall, this one is one that we cannot forget about, alright? Because like I said, it's a modern classic, and it's kind of like the Aqua di Gio here. Always when I think about modern classics, Le Male's in there, and then Aqua di Gio, they're both in that realm from the early 2000s, early 90s, around the 90s when Le Male came out, and Aqua di Gio and all that jazz. So enough of me yapping about that, but Joe Green, what's that smell? Thank you for answering the question, and I appreciate y'all. Let me know if you all have tried Dior Homme Sport 2021, what you think about it. And also, too, comparing it to Dior Homme 2020, do you like this one better? Do you like that one better? I'll be very interested to hear your all's opinions in the comments about this here. And make sure you pay attention to that community tab for the next question so you can be on a video like this. I'll get that up very soon. I'll try to be more active with those questions on there. And with all that out of the way, I'll see you all in the next